Okay, we are live. I'm here once again with Boxrec Gray from Boxrec.com, the ones that
Oh,
does all the ratings that y'all complain about
yep, that's me.
of display. But
That's me.
we're gonna go deep, do some deep dives into these cars this weekend because I think what you think about the potential for money being made on these cars.
Absolutely. There's a lot of stuff to bet on. So yeah, we should just go through it.
A lot of good value on these cars. A lot of good value.
Yes,
Even
sir.
though we may disagree on the main event,
We definitely disagree on the main event.
uh, we will see who will be
Yeah.
correct in that one. Let me.
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
We can start with the women's undercard on the
Yeah.
Cecilia Breakers and Terry Harper. You want to go with that?
Yeah. Sure. I mean, okay. So the Iron card, I'm not as super pumped about it, but there's a couple things that are kind of interesting undercard wise that I would say just like they're not plays that I'm like, holy shit, you got to play them, but they're just things that I'm like, kind of mildly interested in. Gary Cully, it's not on. This is not on DraftKings, so don't even look, Lefty. It's just annoying because books have different lines. This is on Bet 365, which is also should be available in your state. Most people in the U.S. are able to access it, but if you're on Bet 365, Gary Cully against Jose Felix. I would definitely recommend going over the 3.5 rounds there. Gary Cully is 16-0 lightweight. He's made a lot of viral moments on Twitter because he has knocked out guys. He's looked very impressive. But his opponent is, I mean, listen, he's definitely going to win this fight. But Felix is a rugged veteran, and he is coming off of 10 rounds against guys like Tyrone McKenna and Sander Martin. So he's faced good fighters in gone rounds. And he has been stopped early. Like he got stopped in 3 by Pitbull Cruz. But I just think from I don't know, just from playing the odds here, I think more than likely Gary Cully is probably gonna have to go past 3.5 rounds with him. Like I think he's just that durable. I don't think he's gonna go the distance or anything, but I think 3.5 rounds is like more than enough time for this guy to survive, and Cully gets him out in the mid to late rounds. So if you play over 3.5, that's -120. So just something to think about. Not my favorite play, but of the week or anything, but just one that I don't know. I was just looking around and caught my eye. I see on your sports book you have this line. I don't, but Dennis Hogan is a plus money against James. What's his name? James Metcalf. Uh,
Yeah,
I think
James
that's like
Metcalf.
yeah, that's James Metcalf. I think that's closer to a 50-50 fight, to be honest. Even though, you know, I guess he's from Australia originally, but he is Irish, so he'll have fans behind him. And Hogan's like a pretty. I mean, you've seen him once. He's a pretty decent little fighter. He definitely can hang in with the top guys in the division, and Metcalf's kind of a. I think his ceiling is kind of where it's at. Like I don't think he'll be a world title challenger or anything like that. And Hogan is coming off of 3 straight wins. He's looked all in Australia. He beat Sam Eggington his last fight. So I mean, they're both kind of aging for sure, but I'd rather in this situation, even though he's 38, I would if you can get Dennis Hogan at plus money in Ireland, it's worth throwing a couple pennies on. Nothing huge. I wouldn't parlay it if you're gonna do it or anything like that. But if you want to do like a money line bet, try and go for it. And you're like, I want to play an underdog. Dennis Hogan's not a bad play.
Okay. So Dennis Hogan versus James Metcalf, and you have Dennis Hogan as the money line bet.
Yeah, I'd go money line for sure.
Okay. And if y'all watch the bottom of the screen, I'm gonna put the picks down there at the bottom of the screen so
Yeah,
you can write them down or whatever. That way you can remember them.
thank God, because people end up asking me later, and I'm like, I don't fucking remember because I'm like rambling for an hour. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, Terry Harper, Cecilia Brakes. Oh man, Brakes is I think 40 now. Like
Yeah,
she's
she's
been
old.
around forever. Yeah, she's old. Um, Old hasn't really been the most active fighter. Hasn't fought anybody. I mean, McCaskill fight was 2 years ago now. And I mean Harper. I think the one thing with her is like how durable is she going to be at this weight? But I think she's fighting someone who's also coming up in weight and is old, so I'm not too worried about Terry Harper getting caught on the chin here. Nor am I too worried about Terry Harper stopping Breakus. If I were to play this, probably Terry Harper by decision minus 270.
Terry Harper by decision minus 270.
Minus 270.
Okay, there we go. Y'all see it?
Yeah, I just think that she'll be too fast for the old Breakus, but I don't think she can get Breakus out of there because Breakus is a good fighter defensively. He's been around the block, smart in the ring. But I just think that I just go with the youth in that one. I imagine it'll go points.
Yeah, because Breakers is old. Didn't she fight like on the last HBO card?
She did.
Yeah, Breakers is old.
And Lampley, that was one of Lampley was crying.
Yeah.
All right, main event. Got to talk about Katie Taylor. Got to get back there. Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron. All right, so, dude, Des Hogan's line moved.
Yeah, as soon as I hit it,
as soon as you hit it. My God, what are they? They got you got the feds on you or what? What are you doing over there?
They heard you were on the show.
They heard I was on the show. Some asshole just put a bunch of money on Dennis Hogan and knocked the line down. God bless whoever did that. Shout out to you. That's incredible. All right. Anyway, Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron. All right. I've been a Chantel Cameron fan for a while. Back before she was a prospect. I always thought she's a really good fighter. And normally, this is a line where I would be betting Chantel Cameron pretty hard, but it's in Ireland. If it wasn't in Ireland, I might not, I better, but if it's in Ireland, man, I don't know. This fight's definitely got to go to points. I don't see either one of them. I think it's gonna be a great little brawl, good fight, but I don't see either one stopping the other one. I mean, look, since it's in Ireland, Katie Taylor is definitely aging, is definitely past her peak. I mean, Cameron's 32 as well. It's not like she's got a lot left, I think, in terms of to do in boxing. I think she's also getting close to peaking as well. But man, I just feel like this is a distance fight written all over it. Just ignore those big, bets for knockouts or knockdowns. Screw all that. Honestly, if you're gonna play this and throw it in a parlay, I would play. I got it at minus 700, but I got just the fight goes the distance is I think minus 800. Now normally I don't advocate for playing big favorites like that in a parlay, like big favorite lines, but in this case, I just think it's pretty bankable that this is going 10 rounds. I really do. So
okay, so fight goes the distance. Well, what do you think about this? You see this one I have up there on the screen?
Exact fight outcome. Yeah. I don't know, man. In this case, I feel like this fight's gonna be really close. So I mean, if you want to be crafty and do a money line bet, maybe you do a split decision or something like that. Okay. If you think it's gonna be really close, it's not terrible. That plus 280, that doesn't seem that bad. But yeah, honestly, I'm more comfortable playing to go the distance in a parlay or something like that, and instead of playing either one on a money line or sticking either one in a parlay. If I'm gonna play, if you want me to give you guys advice for great, pick a specific fighter, I'd probably just say Katie Taylor points is just because it's in Ireland, man. But it's gonna be a close fight. It's gonna be really close.
Yeah. Also, FanDuel, I didn't check, but I think FanDuel has fight goes the difference distance at minus 600. I know last week.
Okay, well, if they got a better place on FanDuel, play it on FanDuel. But they don't have a lot of lines, which sucks.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of props.
They've been getting better, though. They've getting a lot better.
I was looking today, and I don't know. They could do better on the props, but
they never do fight goes the distance or not, which is
no. All right, so there you go. There's Ireland. We're gonna move on to Top Rank.
Yep.
All right. You want to start from the top and move bottom, or how do you want to do it?
You know who these people are?
I do actually. This is not Top Rank. This is not Top Rank. This is a club show in Philly that's taking place 15 minutes from my house.
Oh, okay.
And it's an 8-round fight. James Martin. Now, if you guys remember that name, he's the guy that beat Vito Milnecki.
Oh.
He's sort of like a club guy, but he's 10-3-1. But he's good. But he's a good little fighter for sure. And he's taking on Courtney Pennington, who's from New York. I think he's like 16-6-3 or something like that. And Pennington's a veteran. He's been around the block, but he's definitely aging for sure. And I don't think it's really things are going to get much better for him. And Martin is from Philly. This is his backyard, and he's on his promoter show in front of his own fans. So this is a pretty. I think this fight should be wider in my opinion. So I think at minus 255. Even then, you're getting. I've seen this line has gotten wider for Martin, but still, even minus 255. That's not bad to throw in a parlay. Martin he's not a power puncher. He has no knockouts actually. That's another reason why he's kind of this club fighter. He's good, but he's not good enough to be signed by a major promoter. You know what I mean? Like he'll always be the B side that's threatening because he's a slick boxer. But in this case, I would throw him in a parlay, no question. So yeah, James Martin minus 255, a fight that you normally would not give a shit about, but these are the ones that sometimes just are nice little parlay stuffers. They're pretty safe plays. I don't see Courtney Pennington really causing Martin too much trouble, So not a bad money line pick. Now we're speaking my language, Lefty. This is
wait. How the hell did a club show in Philly get put on the DraftKings?
Dude, I don't know. That's what's crazy. Well, I think because I don't know who makes the lines, but Martin has fought before. He's been on DraftKings before when he fought Vito, and he fought Joey Spencer. So maybe the guy who made the line recognized him and put him on there. I don't know, but that's usually what happens. Is sometimes it's like you fight on a PBC show, and then even if your next fight is not on TV, sometimes it makes DraftKings. It's really weird. I don't know. Okay. That's my thought. All right, now we're speaking my language here. This is my main event of the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. This is the fight. I love betting on Nico Ali Walsh fights because they're very funny to bet on. You just never know what's going to happen with this guy. So my initial impression is I've watched Nico's last two fights. He fought Billy Wagner, and he fought a guy named Edgar Ayala. I don't know. Can't remember his name, but he didn't look very good in either fight. Danny Rosenberger is a journeyman from central Pennsylvania. I want to say maybe even low Hanshaw country, West Virginia. But I think it's lined right. I think Nico probably is going to win this fight. The question is how, does Danny Rosenberger make it 8 rounds? Based on what I've seen of him, he's a pretty sturdy guy. He's only been stopped once, and that was really early in his career. But yeah, he's definitely an opponent type. They're really, really matching Nico carefully. They had to pick a guy with the winning record, but a guy that's not going to cause too many problems, and that's kind of what Rosenberger is. The only way I can see this fight going to stoppage if Nico gets a gift stoppage by one of these shitty Vegas refs. So keep that in mind. But personally, these fucking corrupt scumbag 80-year-old referees, I fucking hate Nevada. They're going to give this fucking white grandson a gift, and I'm going to scream. But I don't give a shit. I'm still going to play Nico Ali by decision plus 110.
Okay.
And if you want to be safe and you're like, Bray, fuck you, I don't trust you, play over 6.5 minus 125.
Yeah, that's not a bad bet at all.
That's safer. I'm being a little bit of a risk taker here, but I'm gonna go Nico points. I think Rosenberger makes it 8. But if you're like, I'm worried Nico's gonna stop him, round 7, round 8, get that gift stoppage, to play that over.
Okay. Let me put that up there on the bottom.
Yeah, for sure.
Nico points.
Nico Ali points.
Or over 6.5 rounds.
Yep.
Okay.
Nico Ali points. That's what we're going to call him. That will be on the free portion of the pay-per-view tomorrow.
So is the pay-per-view is on not the pay-per-view, but the preliminary card, is it on the Plus, or is it on regular Plus. ESPN? Oh, it's on the Plus, okay.
Plus. Yep, you can watch that for free.
Okay. So.
Well, if you got ESPN Plus, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So the next one, Cash Flow, Floyd Diaz.
Cash Flow. Okay, so this guy, Saavedra, is 9-8, but he's tough as nails. This guy can fight. And I think this fight is an 8-rounder, I think, on paper. They could pull some shenanigans and turn into a 6 magically on the day of the fight. They always do shit like that, but let's assume it's an 8. Cashflow hasn't really blown me away. Like, he's a decent little boxer, but I don't see a lot of power with him. I see a guy that's hittable, decent speed, but, I don't know, man. Personally, I think he's a little overhyped right now. And Saavedra, if you look at his record on Boxrec, I mean, go watch video too. I always encourage you to do that. But like, if you just want to look at numbers, this guy performs really well against other prospects. Goes rounds consistently. Yeah, he's tough. And this line tightened up quite a bit. I believe cash flow opened at like minus 1,200 or minus 1,500, and people slammed that Saavedra line at like Saavedra's probably at plus 1,000, and a lot of people were just like, fuck it, why not throw some money on him? So that's why it kind of tightened up. But personally, I'm more of a play, Floyd Diaz by decision at minus 220 and just kind of hope that he can pull out a tight decision. If you want to play it safer, then just play the 6.5 over, because this dude ain't going anywhere. But again, it's minus 500, so I don't know how much that's going to really add to your parlay. But I just think this is an 8-round fight. It's going to be tight, and I'm just hoping Floyd gets the top ranked decision.
So that one, okay. So cash flow by decision.
Yep.
Floyd Cash Flow. I knew I'd heard that name before. Somebody told me who that was. I was just remembering by his.
Yeah, he's okay. I mean, I don't think he's. I think he's a little. Like I said, I don't think he's their best prospect by any means. Abdullah Mason. I will not play this fight, but I will tell you what I would bet if I were to play it. I just think that this line's so wide, it's kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
Because I think he's going to stop Lyons, but at the same time, it's minus 310.
Yeah.
But if you want to play it, feel free to play it. I just wouldn't throw in a parlay personally. I don't really think there's much value there, but I think of all the top ranked guys in the undercard that are going to get a stoppage, Mason's really good, and I think he'll probably stop Lyons in like the mid rounds. He's a good little fighter. Good punch too.
Yep. Yeah, this he can punch. Out of Cleveland, Ohio, right?
Yes, he is. And then Amari Jones, not with Top Rank. He is with Devin Haney Promotions. So he fights on all of Devin Haney's cards. This is lined pretty accurately. I think Jones is a heavy favorite. The real question is that people are, I think, hung up on is if Jones can go, if Jones can get Hill out of there or not. Jones's record's a bit deceiving. He's 8-0, 7 knockouts, but he's taken on a lot of, I don't know, kind of not very durable guys. Guys supposed to knock out. He did go the distance in his last fight in Australia on the Kambosos undercard, but it was like a walkout fight, so just keep that in mind. But at the same time, go look at Hill's record. Go look at Hill fight a little bit. The guy's durable. The guy can go rounds. I think he's going the distance with like Javier Martinez and what's his name? Oh God, I have to look at his record. But there were 2 guys on there that I was like, okay, he's gone the distance with them. I think Jones is in that same league, and I think and this is 6th round or not an 8. So I think Jones by decision here is not a crazy play, but I wouldn't,
Okay, yeah. just to be on the safe side, what if you go fight to go the distance at plus 100? Jones by decision is plus 105.
Yeah, sure.
Go to distance at plus 100.
Yeah. I'd say fight to go the distance. I think Hill is good enough to go the distance.
Okay.
I have to get my Boxrec in front of me. I'm like talking off the cuff here. I'm like, what the fuck? Forgetting names. Who did Hill fight? It's gonna bother me now. He fought. I have to know this before I go on. He fought Truck Simpson, and he went 6 rounds. And I think if you go 6 with Truck, you go 6 with Martinez isn't that great of a prospect. Don't get me wrong, but if you're going 6 with Truck, you're going 6 with Martinez. I think you go 6 with Jones. And this might be a walkout fight too. I don't know what order it is on the top rank card, but if it's like walkout and there's no fans in there, no energy in the building, more likely you're going to see this go 6 rounds.
Okay.
That's just my thought.
All right, so now we are getting closer to the pay-per-view portion.
Yeah. Woo!
Adam Brunos Lopez versus Oscar Valdez, the rematch.
Oh God.
This is I think Oscar just knocks him out. But other people
I don't know. I do too. I think Lopez is not the same guy in the first fight. I mean, he's gotten the shit kicked out of him lately. I mean, Nova beat him up. He got beat up by Dog Bay. A close fight, but he lost. He's been in some close wars, and even fights where he was supposed to win. I look at William Encarnacion as an example. He struggled in that fight. It was a close decision, and that was a fight where he should have knocked that guy out or won pretty comfortably. I mean, I know Valdez is. There are a few guys I feel like that get clowned on more in the Twitter Spaces than Valdez,
Yeah.
but I know a lot of people just think he sucks. Whatever, that's fine. You can have your opinion on it, but like, I just think like Top Rank really wants him to win here. They need him to get this win back and just get some momentum again before he inevitably gets fed to somebody else. You know what I mean? So I do in this case. I probably would take Valdez by KO minus 160. I think he'll get the stoppage once again. Got the stoppage in the first fight. I think he gets the stoppage again at some point.
I agree.
But I mean, it's just a question of like if Valdez, what is Valdez gonna have left? I don't know. I don't really like. I don't know if he'll ever win a world title again, but I think he can get by a Adam Lopez. It's definitely been in a lot of wars.
Me too. Adam Blue Nose Lopez.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are at the.
This is interesting. This is an interesting fight right here.
Yeah, I made a couple bets with Mortala, and then I started to regret it because I didn't look close enough at this fight.
The thing, yeah. So this is a tough one, right? I wouldn't put this in a parlay or anything like that. Like if you're gonna play it, probably just play it, money line or something like that. Because I mean, Nakatila, is that how you say his name? Nakatilia. He's coming off the better win between the two guys, but he hasn't done anything in 14 months. So he beat Burchell, beat him up.
He ain't fought since Burchell?
No, he hasn't done anything.
Oh,
so that's why I think there's the hang up there. Murtalia has been very active, but Murtalia has been fighting. Murtalia has been fighting guys that are not, they aren't, like not on the Burchell level or the Shakur level. So, and he got dropped in his last fight against Humberto Galindo 2 months ago. So that's the question: is he coming back too quickly? I mean, normally I love activity. And this guy has been active. Go look at his record. He fought 3 times in 2022, and he's coming off of a 60-day layoff to fight Nakatila. But, I think that's the hang-up here is, like, is he coming back too quickly against the guy who has shown that he can punch? That's really the thing is if this guy, catches Muratalia on the chin, he's going to get the stoppage. So, like, if you're going to play Nakatilia, I would be more inclined to play him by knockout than by decision. I think if he wins, he's gonna stop him. But do I want to
put it in a parlay? Do you think you should do a fight not to go the distance? If you want to put it in a parlay,
if I was gonna do in a parlay, I think there's a stoppage here. I do. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I probably personally won't play it myself, but yeah, if I were to, that's probably what I would do. Yeah, I think it's gonna be probably someone's getting stopped for sure.
Okay, so moving on. I thought this one wasn't going to be on the pay-per-view portion.
Which one?
Junto and
It's not. I don't know why they ordered it like that because betting websites are dumb. This is not on the pay-per-view. This is going to be this is the main event of the pre-pay-per-view. So yeah. I mean, as a fan, I'm very excited for my guy Junto Nakatani and Andrew Maloney. Very wide for Nakatani, huh? I mean, I think fans probably look at Nakatani's record and they're like, oh man, this guy's a bulldozer, which he is. I mean, there's lots to like about Nakatani here. He's been in the United States before, and he did very well against Angel Acosta. So it's not his first. I always worry about that with Japanese fighters, Lefty, like their first time in the U.S. Yeah. A lot of these guys don't do very well, right? They crash and burn when they got to face an American on a U.S. soil. But Nakatani has already done it, and he beat Puerto Rican. But and Maloney is like, a little long in the tooth at 32. He's been in some battles. Couldn't beat Joshua Franco. He's coming off of he's on a nice little run, winning streak wise, stayed active in 2022. So I think honestly, like there's a little bit to like there. And I think if you're trying to play, trying to be cute and, trying to make a little money off an underdog, plus 330 is pretty wide. Like that's not a bad play if you're liking Maloney. But I think just like, I don't know, from watching these two guys fight, I mean, I think Nakatani's a very, very good fighter. Like probably, he like underneath the monster, probably one of the best Japanese fighters right now. So I'm as a fan, I'm like, I think he's gonna probably win. But Maloney's no slouch, man. I mean, this guy's never been stopped. He's tough. He's competitive with everybody he's in the ring with. So, I think a Nakatani, having to grind out a decision is not out of the question. I think over 10.5 is not out of the question. I think it definitely will go some rounds, but I just, as a bettor, I don't think there's enough for me to want to bet on Maloney, even though it's a good value. It's good value. If you want it, go grab it, but I probably won't.
So would you go Nakatani money line or fight to go to distance?
Probably would play that to go to distance. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Also, if anybody want to play Nakatani money line, DraftKings does have better odds than that. I think DraftKings is like Nakatani minus 350 or something like that.
It's really fucking wide, man. Better. Yeah.
Like on here, I'm getting where's the fight to go to distance? We're over 10.5 fight to go to distance. Yes. Oh, you can get that at plus 100.
Not bad.
No, that's not bad at all. But like here, okay, let me show you this fight before we go. On DraftKings, it's minus 112, minus 12. But on here, where is that fight at? Oh, Luis Lopez versus Conlon. They got Lopez as a plus 100 dog, but on FanDuel, they have them as they both even at minus 112.
Huh. Yeah. Interesting.
So you got to always make sure you check the.
Here we go. Here's where we're gonna differ.
Where history will be made tomorrow.
I'll let you kind of talk you are much more passionate, I think, than me. So talk a little bit about why you're picking Lomachenko.
I'm picking Lomachenko because I think, as far as the mental aspect of it, I'm gonna go to the mental aspect. The mental aspect, Lomachenko knows this is his last chance. If Lomachenko loses this fight, what's next for him? Picking up a vacant title against the winner of Nakatani and Murata, whatever his name, Muratalla,
yeah.
Only to lose in a unification with Shakur. He knows there's a lot on the line for him this fight. It's either now or never for the rest of his career. And Lomachenko is a very prideful guy, extremely prideful guy. Takes a lot of pride in accomplishments, the belts, aka the belts. So I think he's coming in here. It won't be like the Tio fight where he thinks he still has time and time runs out on him. He's going to start this fight early, and he's going to get there. And he knows by the end of the fourth round, it's got to be at least 2-2 or maybe 3-1 in 3-1 at the most in Devin's favor, but maybe 2-2. I just think that this Jojo Diaz fight has been bothering me, because I was very deep teamed Devin Haney before I actually started going back and watching fights before I made my pick, and that I would have liked to see Devin Haney get another look at a southpaw. It didn't have to be anybody great, just another look.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Another look at a southpaw, because those, it's a lot different when you get there in the ring. You can spar them all you want, but it's a lot different when you get there. And just the fact that JoJo had no problem getting on the inside without even throwing punches, and Loma's he'll feint on the inside to get on the inside, or he'll throw a jab to get on the inside. He closes distance very, very well. And what I noticed was that JoJo, half that fight was spent really at close range, and Devin Haney was up against the ropes more than JoJo was that whole fight. Haney's back touched the ropes more than JoJo's did that fight.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of the pressure that Loma brings, and also the pace that Loma sets. And we have seen Devin Haney get kind of sloppy later on in fights.
Yes, he has.
So I am picking Lomachenko by decision with a little taste on the Loma. I'll tell you a great bet. Devin Haney be knocked down at plus 600. I think that's a great bet.
Look at you! I'm such a conservative bettor. I love this shit. Where you're just like, fuck it, let's do a knockdown prop.
I think that is a great. Devin Haney to be knocked down at plus 600. And if you want to go with either fighter, that's plus 330.
Oh my god. Dude, how much they got for Loma down? Because that would be fucking crazy.
Loma is plus 550. See, this is weird.
How is
they think,
Devin
no, but
Haney? They set these
what's
prospects
weird
up.
is they think Devin Haney has a greater chance of knocking
No.
Loma out, but Loma has a greater chance of knocking him
Serious?
down. Yep.
Okay. Devin Haney, when was that last time Devin Haney had a fucking knockout? Like Antonio Moran. He has
Yep.
one highlight reel KO against Antonio Moran. Everything else is all decisions or a guy quitting in the corner. That's
Yep.
it. He doesn't knock guys out. He's gonna be defensive in this fight. Like he's gonna be very, very careful.
Yep.
Like, and like that's like my one. So like initially, like I was like, I'll go with youth. Devin Haney decision was a -170, but like, yeah, the more I think about it, I'm like, Loma's a smart enough guy that like he's not gonna like. I mean, dude, if he just sits there for the first 4 rounds and doesn't do dog shit, like I'm gonna live bet Devin Haney till the cows come home. Don't get me wrong. Like this is a fight where I'm probably gonna be sitting in front of a computer live betting like a fucking junkie. Like I'm probably not gonna do money in advance because I need to see what Loma does in the rounds 1 through 3 because that's it. Like from like when I watched the Teofimo fight, I knew Teofimo was gonna win that fight after the 3rd round. I know it sounds crazy, but like I didn't like how Loma's pace. I didn't like how his footwork was. I just didn't like his output, like anything he was doing. He was starting too slow, and I didn't think it was going to take till like round 7 for him to stop downloading the fucking data. But like, I just worry that he just doesn't throw enough early, and then Haney sneaks these rounds. I mean, this could be, I don't know, like it could be a really boring fight where they're just kind of just picking each other and looking for openings the whole time and feinting and trying to see if another guy will make a mistake. Like that's what I kind of worry about is this fight's a stinker and it's super close. It's like a 115, 113 either way. And we're all debating it online and they do a rematch. And it's really, they're not memorable fights, but they have to do a rematch. So I'm not worried. I'm not excited about that prospect. I'm hoping this is, as a fan, like this is fucking clear like who wins, but I don't know, man. I'm going to still stick with my thoughts. And I think Devin Haney -170 decision would be my play. But I definitely respect your logic for Lomachenko. Like, I get it. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a great fight.
I hope so, man. I don't know. I just don't have expectations, I guess, anymore for these pay-per-views, dude. I mean, like, obviously the Tank and Ryan definitely was great, like in terms of entertainment, but I don't know. I just don't set my bar very high.
I think it's going to be a great fight. Okay, so the recap. Anybody that's on DraftKings, you have Harper by decision, Terry Harper by decision.
Yeah.
Dennis Hogan money line, fight to go the distance between Taylor and Cameron. James Martin out of Philadelphia, money line. Nico Ali Wash by decision or technical decision. Floyd Cashflow Diaz by decision or technical decision. Abdullah Mason, if you want to put this on your parlay, you can put him on a KO, TKO, DQ. Armani Jones versus Pacino Hill. Will the fight go the distance? Yes, you get that at +100. Oscar Valdez by KO, TKO, DQ at -160. More. How do you say his name? I can never say this name.
Gabriel Morataya. Is it Raymond? Sorry, Raymond Morataya.
Yeah, Raymond Morataya versus Nakathila. Yeah. Fight to go the distance, no, at -140. Somebody's going to get knocked out in that one. Junto Nakatani. Is he related to the other Nakatani? That Loma beat?
I don't think he is, but he could be. I don't know. I don't think so.
So that's that +100 to fight to go decision. Devin Haney by decision -170. So if you put all these together,
oh good lord! No, don't do this. By the way,
look, you put all these together and you put $1 on it. That's $360 you can win.
Don't play a fucking 12-pick parlay. That's just burning money.
That's $360.
That's fucking out of control. I'll tell you quickly what my 5-pick parlay is. I don't give a shit if you tail me or not, or you're interested in it, but this is what I did. I don't play parlays very often, like big parlays. Mm-hmm. Usually I'll do two fights, but I want to do one just because we're doing the show and just for shits and giggles. I want to burn $50. So I'm putting $50 on Floyd Diaz by decision, -220 at the time. James Martin, -255. Nico Ali points by decision, +110. Amari Jones plus decision, +105. And then Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron to go the distance, -700. I usually don't play wide lines like that, but I feel like that's pretty bankable. But anyway, if you play $50 on that, you win $498. And I
Okay,
think
what was the one you said after Nico Aliawash?
I said Amari Jones by decision, and then Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron to go the distance. So if you play those 5, you put 50 on it, you win $498. So something to think about if you're curious. And I think those are, and I gave you pretty, and I think those are all interesting, playing pretty safely and realistic, nothing crazy there. You know what I mean?
So let me show you. Right there. That's his 5-pick parlay special.
Yeah, if this was a betting show, it'd have my stupid hot dog costume face and, all my fucking picks on like the DraftKings website or whatever. The Dan Canobio parlay or the Dan Rayfield parlay. You can call it the Boxrec Gray hot dog, hot tub time machine fucking looking kid parlay, whatever you want to call it.
There you go. So, all right. And like you said, tomorrow, I think it's going to be a great fight tomorrow. I think that main event is going to be, man, there's so much at stake at this main event.
If it's dog shit, I'm going to just complain in the spaces.
It can't be dog shit because this is Loma's. Both of these guys are fighting for their future. With Devin with his new deal.
Yeah.
Whichever way he chooses to go.
Yep.
And with Loma, if he loses this, he may very well be gatekeeper status.
No, it's you're right. There's millions of dollars potentially on the line for both guys. They're both guys. Like,
I think they're going to leave it all in the ring. This is going to be a great fight tomorrow, and I am hyped, and I cannot wait to see it. And I've been yelling from the mountaintops for weeks.
Are you
Loma Chico?
Like, what do you think? Has the excitement level for this been very high? Like, I haven't really been talking to people, but
to us hardcores, this is like the hardcore with a little crossover to casuals.
Yeah, I get that.
So the excitement level has been very, very high.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'd like to see Haney become a big name, but at the same time, he's so defensive, and I don't know if this style is like that fun to watch. But maybe Lomachenko brings a good fight out of him.
Let me ask you this: if you are Lomachenko, and you see these young killers at lightweight, Shakur, Tank, Devin Haney, which one are you picking?
I'd go down in weight, honestly. Go back down to 130 because I think. Dude, I think he should have gone down to 130 a while ago. I mean, 135 is really his fucking ceiling, dude. Like, but honestly, from that crop, like, right now, obviously, I don't know. I'd rather fight Haney, I guess, than I will those names. Like, he's got the best chance. I would say I think it's better for him to fight Devin Haney than it is to fight Frank Martin.
Yeah. And see, and people say, Haney has youth on his side, but he fights like an old man.
He does fight like
he fights like an old man. He doesn't fight like a young guy.
No, and for Lomachenko, like, getting hit by 135-pound killer, like, at that age, not good for him. Those guys are all bigger than him, so if he's gonna fight a guy who's bigger than him, he might as well fight a guy who's a boxer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think he should have just gone down to 130 and tried to clean house there, but whatever.
No money down there. I mean, I guess him and Valdez would be a pretty decent fighter. Him and the winner of Valdez and
what?
Haney versus the winner of Valdez and what's my man name? The other Mexican dude.
Navarrete?
Yeah, Navarrete.
Yeah, I mean, he should have gone in. I think he should have gone down to 130 and asked for the Navarrete fight. Honestly, like, that's what I mean, after that Liam Wilson performance, if I was Loma, I'd be like, oh, that's the guy I want on my radar.
Yeah,
because I think Navarrete is kind of, I don't know. I love him as like a fan. I love watching him, but that style is not complex. I think Loma would chew him up. Like, even as he's getting older, I think that style is he's tailor-made for Loma. Yeah. Whereas I think a lot of these guys at 135 are too big and too strong. So
now, for y'all that don't know, when Loma came back and fought Jermaine Ortiz, Boxrec had told us in the group chat that this was going to be a close fight and Ortiz might pull it off.
I did, and I was having a heart attack for about the first half of the fight because Lefty kept sending me eye emojis. And I couldn't watch it because I was at my fucking friend's house and we had no TV. So I'm losing my mind, like reading these texts, and Lefty's like sending me eyeball emojis. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He might pull it off. So I just think like, yeah, I just think 135. It's like, dude, there's just so much he can do there. Like go pull a donaire and go down and wait as you're older and try and get some of the try and catch one of these guys that aren't, it's not very good.
Let me ask you this: Who do you think last fight prepared them better for this fight? Loma against that young spry lion, or the second?
I like your point. Yeah,
Kambosos?
I will give Kambosos a little credit. I thought he tried to do a little bit more in the second fight, as in he had a plan B. That granted, neither plan A or plan B worked very well, but of course, Loma fighting a fucking very hungry Jermaine Ortiz and still being able to hold him off, I think prepares him very well. Like, this is a guy that if Loma was like really had an off day, like Ortiz would have beat him, and I think Ortiz is a good fighter. So I think you're right. Like, it was probably good for him to prepare with a guy that was as young as Haney. So yeah, I get your point.
All right, so that's it. Thanks, Boxrec, for joining us one more again, and let's make some money. Remember, gamble responsibly, everybody. And
yes.
If you hit, hold up, Boxrec, what is your Cash App? Because last time you hit and they never sent you no money. I don't like that.
I got $2 last time. So thanks guys for the $2. MAGNUSMULDOON. Magnus Muldoon. I know, weird name, but that's my Cash App. So deal with it. I probably should have just made it Boxrec. I don't know what my fucking problem is, but that's my Cash App. I'll post it up there. Thank you. If you end up winning, I wouldn't be upset if you tip me. I don't really care if you don't, but it does warm my heart to get that $2 thank you, I'll say.
And it helps them. It encourages them to come on the show more.
It does encourage me to come back. This is true.
This is true. Send some goddamn money to get them back on the show.
Yeah, I want to point out the last time I was here, didn't I get almost every pick right?
I think it was every pick.
It was like nearly 100%. So I'm not trying to brag. I don't know. I doubt I'll do that well tomorrow. But if you end up making a little bit of money, I'll come back if I get a few tips. That'll make me want to come back for sure.
All right. I appreciate it again, Boxrec.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
Win some money tomorrow, and we'll do it again.
Absolutely. If you want to follow me, I'm on Twitter, Boxrec Gray. Maybe be sure to support Lefty and all the other content creators that are doing this independently. That's the key word, independently. There's a lot of them out there. You know who they are. They're not affiliated with networks. They're just trying to be boxing fans. So please support those people.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right.
Y'all take it easy, y'all.
Take care.
Yeah.